A great tool to add to your arsenal is an HVLP paint sprayer. This tool is a huge time saver when it comes to adding stains, urethanes, and paint to your project. It is unfortunate that I cannot recommend the sprayer that I have used for years because you can no longer purchase them. So I had to find one that I could recommend to you based on what I think is a pretty lenient criteria. First of all, it had to have at least a 40-ounce canister and also had to have brass spray tips. So let's unbox the HomeRight Super Finish Max HVLP sprayer and get dirty. For those that don't know, HVLP stands for high velocity, low pressure, and probably the most asked question is, can I use it to paint my house? Yes. I use the one that I just had here to paint my 2,200 square foot split level house. So I don't see any reason why you couldn't do it with this one. I looked at least a dozen different sprayers, passed on the ones that have plastic tips or small canister. Now, why did I spend $30 over my budget and get this one? Well, there are two things that make this one stand out above the rest. The first is it boasts of minimal to no thinning of latex paints when using the 4mm red tip. This is an outstanding feature, and we will test that here shortly with some latex paint. The other great feature is that I can order any of the accessories that I need from Amazon instead of having to go to the manufacturer. I guarantee that you will need extra cups and lids, either for storing commonly used materials or a clean cup to run water through it for cleaning the tool. Of all the less expensive ones that I looked at, they had plastic tips, required thinning, a smaller canister, or very difficult to get accessories. So let's see what comes with this tool. First, we have some great reading material. I would hate to spoil the ending, but the butler did it. Next, we have two air caps. One's pre-installed that will allow us to adjust the width of the spray. We also have three different brass tips, a 1.5mm blue tip for stains and polyurethane, a 2mm green tip that comes installed on the machine for latex, chalk, and milk type paints, and the 4mm red tip for primer and latex paints. We have a 40-ounce cup with a lid, a tool for changing out the tips, and a bristle brush for cleaning. And here is the sprayer itself. You can adjust the spray patterns by easily rotating the air cap. This will allow round, vertical, and horizontal painting. We can also control the amount of flow with this knob here to spray more or less. Now the exciting part. Let's load it up and test it with some latex paint that has not been thinned. All right, so here we go. This is a unthinned latex, and I'm getting ready to shoot it onto this board. So we'll see how it stands up. So in the initial test, I do see some spitting here. I don't know if you can see, but there are some bumps. I could definitely see it when it was spraying on. So I'm going to add just a little bit of water. Now, my previous HVLP required me to thin it about 3-to-1, but I'm just going to throw just a tiny bit of water in here just to see how much thinning it's going to require. All right, so I'm getting ready to paint it again. I put about maybe a tablespoon of water, just very minimal. Let's just see how it reacts to that. So just that tablespoon of water, I mean, we're talking minimal thinning here, and that put on a really nice coat. So it definitely holds up to it boasting with minimum to no thinning. So that's impressive. Well, there you have it. It definitely lived up to the minimal to no thinning when it came to spraying latex paint with the 4 millimeter tip. Now, I did use an exterior satin paint and primer mix. The primer may have added some extra consistency to it, but it definitely lived up to the minimal thinning. As for the easy cleanup, well, debatable. Now, don't get me wrong, it was a fairly simple cleanup, but the less expensive models I have clean up a lot quicker. Although, when it comes to this machine's performance, it was well worth the extra time. On a side note, it does come with some very small pieces that are just begging to get lost. So keep that in mind and find somewhere safe to put them. Outstanding HVLP sprayer for the price, but I will definitely need to add a couple extra cups and lids. Now, I understand if this one is outside of what you have budgeted for an HVLP, so I will link a less expensive model in the description. Overall, I highly recommend this sprayer. I am thinking of doing a how to use it video where I'll walk you through setting it up, using it, and breaking it down for cleaning. Drop a comment if that is something you might be interested in. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. Until next time, keep it safe.